You may have heard about MOSAIC, the new rule from the FAA that's changing the game for sport pilots and light sport aircraft. AOPA, along with a number of other aviation organizations, has been working with the FAA for years to accomplish MOSAIC. The goal is to significantly expand access to general aviation and modernize how what are now called light sport category aircraft are defined and certified. But what is it, and what does it mean for you? The rule is long and complex, over 700 pages. We'll take a look at what it means specifically for sport pilots.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Join AOPA today. Thanks to Lightspeed for sponsoring this video. Click below to learn more about the Lightspeed Delta Zulu.
Before we get into the details, one important note. The changes affecting sport pilot privileges take effect on October 22nd, 2025, so as of today, the rules are still the same. So let's jump in. Much of the MOSAIC rule changes what sport pilots can do and what aircraft they can fly, but what is a sport pilot certificate anyway? A sport pilot certificate is issued by the FAA and allows you to fly light sport aircraft without meeting all the requirements of a private pilot certificate. It was created in 2004 to make flying more accessible with lower training time, medical requirements, and cost. The requirements to get a sport pilot certificate have not changed under these new rules. If you want to learn more about how to become a sport pilot, check out an AOPA article about it in the description below. Now, while the requirements to become a sport pilot are not changing with MOSAIC, what sport pilots can do and what they can fly is changing. And there's a long list of changes. First, we'll cover the types of aircraft sport pilots can fly. With the original rule, sport pilots could fly airplanes, gliders, weight shift control, powered parachutes, balloons, airships, and gyroplanes, as long as their max gross takeoff weight didn't exceed 1,320 pounds or 1,430 pounds for seaplanes. The new rule includes all of those, plus helicopters and powered lift aircraft with simplified flight controls, like eVTOLs, for example. The next change is to the number of seats in the aircraft. 2 for the original rule, and for the new rule, it's 4 seats for airplanes, 2 seats for other aircraft. Now, that doesn't mean you can fill those airplane seats with people as a sport pilot. Both the original and new rule limit sport pilots to the pilot plus 1 passenger. Max takeoff weight also changes. The original rule limited it to 1,320 pounds for a land airplane or 1,430 for seaplanes. The new rule has no weight limit. Max stall speed also changes, and that is a major component that opens up a lot more aircraft to sport pilots. The original rule max stall speed was 45 knots, no flaps. The new rule is 59 calibrated airspeed, no flaps for airplanes, and 45 for gliders and weight shift aircraft, also no flaps. Max airspeed also changes. The original rule had a 120 knot max airspeed, and the new rule has no speed for sport pilots. MOSAIC also greatly expand power plant options. This opens up a ton of options for electric and Jet A powered aircraft. There are several new options sport pilots will have with the new rule if they receive additional training and an instructor endorsement. Those new privileges are the ability to fly aircraft with a constant speed propeller, retractable landing gear, and the option for night flight. To fly at night, sport pilots will need valid BasicMed or a third-class medical. And speaking of medicals, both rules allow pilots to fly with a state-issued driver's license instead of a medical certificate, unless, again, you want to fly at night. One really important note, if your most recent medical was denied or revoked, or if you had a special issuance withdrawn, you cannot fly as a sport pilot with your driver's license. The MOSAIC changes related to sport pilots are just the start. There is much more in MOSAIC that affects aircraft. Keep an eye on the channel for our next MOSAIC Explained video. In the meantime, if you have any MOSAIC questions and are an AOPA member, you can call our Pilot Information Center at 800-USA-AOPA. If you're not an AOPA member, we would love for you to join us. Learn more in the description below.